I want to start by saying thank you for having me today. I
Yeah, no
appreciate that.
worries.
We have definitely been trying to pull it together for a while. So I'm grateful to be here and thank you
Yeah,
for sharing your platform with me today. I appreciate that.
thank you.
And yes, in my feelings, the EP, okay, it actually started out as an album. I
Hmm.
was working on my first full album.
Right.
And because of the pandemic, of course, that stuff had to come to a halt as far as the going in and literally recording in the studio with my producer and everything. So I didn't want to sit on what I had any longer. So I decided, okay, let me take this and put it out as an EP.
Right.
So I took not all of what I had, but everything that I felt like was finished enough,
Hmm.
and I got it mixed and mastered and everything, and then we put it out as a. I wanted to release something. People have been waiting for me to release something, so I'm like,
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I feel like what I have right now, I have it for a reason.
Hmm.
So let's just kind of go with what we have, and do what you have to learn how to do what you can with what you have, and
That
that's kind of
voice.
what I've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
on. So like yeah, so I've been working on it. I think I started it back in September of 2019. It's when I recorded the very first song, and what was funny is that it turned out where the first song
Hmm.
on the EP was actually the last thing that I recorded, and the last thing that's on the EP was the first thing that I
It's
recorded.
interesting.
Yeah, so it happened like that, and so I would say back your question was when did I start working on it? It was back in September of 2019.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Yeah. Okay. So
It's
you was
we got
rocking.
yeah, we actually were when we started, we
Yeah.
start because basically I had taken a time I had taken a little time away from working with producers to hear me. I want to see what I want to say, right?
Good on you.
And so what I did is 5 out of 6 of the songs you heard was actually already finished before the music was put to it. Like,
Mm.
it was the lyrics, the melody, and everything was already there. All I had to do was come in and give him the vision that was already there, and he brought it to life.
Nice.
And so we were able, because of that, to work within a timely and efficient manner. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
That's
And
what's up.
and so by the time that COVID hit, we had already had like 5 or 6 of those 6 plus maybe a half of another one done, and it was just ready to go. So
That's
yeah,
what's up. What about your process? Like, your writing, of course,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I wrote so 5 out of 6 of the songs were solely written by me, and then
Mm-hmm.
I collaborated with a friend to write the song Pleasure.
Mm.
Yeah.
One
So
of my favorite tracks.
yeah.
And I was looking at the wife after that one. I was looking at the wife and was like,
Yeah.
but no, but no. What is your Okay, so what was the most difficult song to record, and what was the most rewarding song to record?
Mm, that's a good question right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. I think the most rewarding song for me, honestly, was "Don't Touch the Fire," and this is the reason why, because of the message. I felt like I need my music to do more than just
Mm-hmm.
be a vibe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
just entertain.
I
Yeah,
needed to entertain people,
depth.
and I needed to be a vibe, but I needed to say something as well. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And that's one of the songs that I feel like, okay, I said a few things on here like that I feel like we can not only all relate to, but things that we've all been through, and reminders that we all need. You
Mm.
get what I'm saying? So "Don't Touch the Fire" was that piece that I felt like I recorded it in one take, and we did
Check
other
you
takes.
out.
We did other takes just in case we get something better.
Right.
But that song was recorded from top to bottom with no like glitches in the system.
That's
You
what's
get what I'm
up.
saying? And it was easy for me because it was just there already like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so while that wasn't the hardest song to record, it was the most rewarding for me because of the message in it, especially the spoken word part of it. So that was that, and then which one was hardest?
Yeah,
I
the
would
hardest,
say,
the most difficult, the most takes.
okay, okay, um, it's that's tough. So we are the same. We got Fly Away. You got Pleasure. Difference. Don't want to do this alone. You know what? None of them were really hard. I think Fly Away because there were different little elements of it where I had him to beatbox on a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we added a little, because it was
nuance.
nothing but me. It was just, if you notice, that song is really a cappella. It's no music to it. It's
It
just
sure
me
is.
and kind of like a bass line and then, vocals. That's just it.
Was that your idea?
Yeah, it started out as that, and I was trying to, like, I had worked with a couple other producers to try to get something done to that, but it felt like adding music to it
Yeah.
was almost taken away from the integrity of the song and what it was intended for it. And I once I got in and I did that, did it without putting stuff to it. It was like, we almost done. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, we really almost done. Like, this is really already a vibe, like this. And so I imagined it being like a 80s vibe, like that. If you notice, the rap in that song is more of an 80s rap style.
You're definitely
as opposed-
spitting now.
Yeah, it's not like a typical today's rap. It's like an 80s style rap.
Yeah,
Remember the
just
days when
harder.
we
You
were
know what I'm
kids in
saying?
school.
The
I looked
cadence
at
and
you
all
and
that.
knew I never. Yeah, like that.
Go crazy. Then.
Yeah, it was like
like-
one of those vibes, and so I can see the video being Kango hats and Adidas and
shelter
freaking
and all that.
yeah, all of that. So I could see that and it being like a high school kind of like on the corner, everybody like beatboxing. That's how I see that. So I feel like that actually came through without a lot of music happening.
Ma'am, you have vision, and
Yeah.
I can tell your musical IQ is up there. You feel me? So, but you've been doing this a while, like
Yeah.
before even The Voice and all that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You were doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, okay, I know it started in church for you.
Yeah.
But when did you know that you can actually sing? Like, okay, I know your parents probably noticed it first, but like, when you heard yourself, like, oh, I got a voice. When was that? What
you
was
know
that
what?
like?
I think more so than me knowing it because I've always known that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like,
Okay.
I've never had a different answer when I was a kid and they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? They asked a whole group of us, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never had a different answer than a professional singer, than a famous singer. I want to be a famous singer. I want to mean, and I want to do it. I don't just
Right.
want to do it as a hobby. So I've known since I was at least four, or 5. Or I remember 5 was the age where I stepped up in church to actually say, can I do a solo?
Okay.
That was at 5. But I knew before 5 that this is what I wanted to do. I'm looking at people like Brandy. She was the first person. Brandy was the first artist that I looked to, like, oh wow, like I
miss
want to be
Brandy.
her.
Brandy
Yeah.
no one liked her.
These was in the Moesha days. I have pictures where I had them do my hair just like Brandy's because that's what I wanted to be. And then Aaliyah came out and it was like this whole phase of, oh, we got to do a dance to every one of her songs. We learning all the choreography to the videos and all of that stuff. So I knew back then it was like it was never not apparent
Right.
to me that this is what I'm gonna do. But I think when I started to see the reaction of other people,
Okay.
that's when it was like, wow,
You went down.
yeah. When I started seeing the reaction of other people, that's when it became a thing of, oh, this is legit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she can really sing. Like they started putting me up with the adults.
Isn't that
And
something though? What it does to you once you have that confidence?
oh my God. Like,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
And I think the blessing in it for me is that I had that push, or those, when you, especially in church,
oh yeah,
especially in Black church as well, like when you sing, they gonna let you know
That love.
you're singing,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah. So
Everybody.
I've always had the push, and I had people like my older brother and my older cousin that would sit and sing with me, like I do with my daughter right now today. They sit and we singing together, and I'm going tit for tat with them. It's just different stuff where you have people by default that are helping you gain that confidence that you need to always. But I had the confidence was just there, and I'm so glad. I'm glad about the beginning, because that's always just like a kind of a bird's eye view of what's coming.
okay. So on the contrast now,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I know there's been difficult times, right?
Yeah.
Was there a situation where you found yourself like, man, maybe this isn't right? You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like, can you describe that for us?
I think that, hmm, to be honest with you, like this is so funny because the journey in itself, people look at you as an artist or as who the people on the outside. They look at you and they figure that they know how it is and how it's been and what is this.
Sure, yeah.
I just like so I would say this within the last 5 years, because it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I actually decided, I'll say 5 or 6 years, that I actually decided that no, I'm stepping outside of the church and I'm going to do what I've been gifted to do. And I'm going to actually do shows and I'm going to put on one myself and it's going to feature me, right?
Okay.
That was just like 6 years ago, 2014, February, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that began a whole nother journey for me, right?
Right.
So by the time that I was the things by the time I hit 2016,
Mm-hmm.
where I switched my name and then I went on and auditioned for The Voice.
Right.
That was another piece of the journey, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's like this is happening the way I saw it happen, and it's only gonna be bigger and better. It's only going up from here,
Right.
right? And so you get in a space where you go on NBC's The Voice, and how now you have this platform that's basically everything is being given to you, like the makeup, the wardrobe, the hair, the lights, the camera, the action, all of that. You're being placed in your dream situation, and it's not costing you anything but to show up and to take the opportunity. Now they gonna use you,
Right.
so you got to know how to use the opportunity,
play the
right?
game, yeah.
So you get on here and you play the game, and now you're in lights, and everybody think that because you're in lights, you done made it, right?
Right.
You
Right.
made it.
Right.
And you got this reality that happens though.
Mm-hmm.
After you hit reality TV, you got to come off the show. And when you come off the show, you ain't gonna have none of what you had when you were on all of the. So you're being brought to this place right now. Like this is an instantaneous success that you're being given right here and right now
there.
in front of millions of viewers every week. Nobody gets that. Like not even the people that are already established as like legends and stuff like that. They're not being seen by 15 million people every week. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're being given something that's really a gem right now. So you're put up here on this pedestal for a few months,
Right.
and once it's over, and you got to know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you try to do? You try to go from where you were and maintain what you had when it was millions of dollars or being put behind what you looked like, or what you when it was you were a part of a bigger situation.
Yeah.
So you try to maintain that, and along that journey, I would say within the last 3 or 4 years, I've had plenty of times where I felt like, not that I never felt like it's not gonna happen for me. I never felt like it's not gonna happen, but I did feel like, am I walking in the right direction?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
are my steps really being ordered right now? What have I been drawing to me? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people that I've been drawing to me?
Exactly.
What is the situation that I've been drawing to myself? Like, moreover, am I doing it, oh God, in a way that you will have me to do it? You know what I'm saying? Because I was supposing that by now, you know what I'm saying? If it was gonna pop, you know what I'm saying? I suppose that
Right.
that what time is
What-
it? Because I thought that by now, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
I'd be on the BET Awards already. I'd be
Right.
on Black Girls Rock, invited.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've had those moments of, okay, Lord, am I doing it right? You get what I'm saying? And I'm talking about that's recent. That's within the last few years. That wasn't back in the day. That was within this season of getting off The Voice and coming and going on to do great. I've gotten into some great doors after The
Right.
Voice because I did that had that experience. I've sang in front of many people, and it been nothing but a star-studded audience. And it's like, oh, wow, I'm here and it's happening. But what you have to kind of get is that you never really arrive. Because
Exactly.
by the time you get to where you thought you wanted to be, you already got your mind set
Somewhere
on
else.
something else,
Yep.
right? So it's like just learning how to enjoy the journey and trust the process, even when you don't know how it's going to happen. Because what I've been learning is that the how is not my business. The how is not my
For the
business.
people in the back, can you say, just for the people in the back, just say it
Yes,
one more
what
time.
I have been learning on this journey is that the how is not my business. And sometimes we get so caught up in wondering how it's going to happen for us that we almost lose sight of the who and the what. You get what I'm saying?
I
It's
feel like I'm about to turn green and it just fucked you up right now,
That's-
man.
that's
You
real.
giving me power right now. But you know what? You said something. You said
Yeah.
you were talking about questioning what is really happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And having that experience, and then now you got to take what was given to you,
Yes,
and now you got to do something with it.
you do.
And you did a crucial thing. You sat down, took a step back, and questioned.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't question what is going on. They would just run with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's mental fortitude, emotional fortitude. That's emotional IQ. That's important for you to have. And you already had that. So, like, your journey up until this point and going on to The Voice, like, you were already ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was nothing that was going to stop you at that point.
That's right.
And I will say, y'all got to go watch that. What was that? The audition, your first song?
Yeah,
What was this? What is the song you sung?
It was Drowning My Own Tears.
Oh my
Aretha
God.
Franklin.
Talking about chills. And I'm not even gassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I am gassing. I'm giving you all the petrol, premium grade. Because when I tell you, like, your voice, the only person I've heard that had this, you know what I'm saying, that's not already out there, that has a voice like that was my wife. You know what I mean? Whenever I hear her sing, like, she gave me the same feeling. Like, when
Okay.
she, you know what I mean? But it's a different voice, of course. But, like, you have that power. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really happy that you're out here doing this thing. And if I had to say, with your platform and everything that you have and everything that is going on, and I want to give you an opportunity to expound on our social political climate. I mean, we're changing gears,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, how has it affected you emotionally, mentally, or even physically?
You know what? I think that, to be honest with you, sometimes I don't even realize how stuff is affecting me until it's been affecting me already. You get what I'm saying? Until I kind of like look back over the past couple
It's
weeks and be like,
settled
I
and-
see
yeah.
why I was in this state of mind, or why I was having these kind of dreams and this kind of stuff. You know,
Okay.
it's my certain things I dream about. That has everything to do with the time that we're in right now.
Right.
And with the fears that come with the time that we're in right now. I think that I have gone through several different emotions revolving around the Black Lives Matter movement, revolving around everything that we've been dealing with as a people. You know, I have had several different emotions when it comes down to anger and rage. I have felt that, you know, but then there have been times where I have felt like, am I doing enough in this time that we're in to aid the to
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to stop you. I was just like, you in it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like am I doing enough to aid the people during this time? And it's like we can't possibly think that we can take it upon ourselves to be everybody's aid,
For
of course.
sure.
But I feel like I understand some things about what we're going through as a people, just spiritually, because of the spiritual journey that I've taken. As a Christian, there are some things that I've learned that we're not taught in church on the regular basis about who we are. And what I mean by that is that there is reason why we always seem to be the people that are under.
Right.
The people that are under somebody's knee, somebody's foot, under somebody's, oppression. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
There are answers for that stuff that I feel like these answers can only come from the source. Okay, the source that is God Himself. And these are things though that we're not being that we're not given where we go to get the source, which is church.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't have it to give, and what you don't have to give, you can't give. But as far as our people are concerned, there's some things. I mean, I guess that would be a whole nother can to open up. You know what I'm saying? But because of the understanding that I have about who we are as a people, that we are God's chosen people. We are that people that the Bible spoke about. When it came down to, if you ever get a chance to read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and it shares with you the blessing and the curse that'll come upon this people if they chose disobedience or obedience. And that the blessing or the curse would not only be upon them, but upon their children and their children's children from generation to generation until the Lord returns. If we understood that those were our people, that this is the lineage that we came from, we would understand the circumstances that have befallen us all of these years, because it did not just start over the last 400 years.
Right.
And it's not a black or white thing either, because we were enslaved to other black people before.
You teaching now.
We were enslaved to Egyptians who are also black people. It wasn't a black or white thing then, and it's really not a black or white thing now. That's just an overlay for the underplay.
One could say that that slavery was taught to Europeans by black people.
Listen to what but see, if we don't understand the things that we see as the minute things, we're taught and trained to make a bigger deal of certain things. Because if we can get you, if I can get you to focus right here in this area, you're not thinking about who you are or whose you are, or what the real root of the problem is. You're not thinking about that, because who's going to think about that when everybody's in an uproar, when everybody's under like a true rage, like an outrage. So for me understanding who we are and knowing the why behind why it's, because if you notice, we're always the last ones hired, the first ones fired. We always seem to be at the bottom end of the totem pole. We always are we're always below and not above. We at the bottom of everything, even though we're better than it's like we have 10 times as much talent, but have to work 50 times as hard as anybody else to get into the same doors. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that the reasoning behind those things, it all comes and derives from questions that can be answered. And so for me in this time, I have felt, not only have even with me knowing the why, it hasn't changed the heart. It hasn't changed the hurt that happens when I see George Floyd, and when I experience the story of Breonna Taylor. You get what I'm saying? Or Ahmaud Arbery. We see these things happening, and it brings about a true hurt. You get what I'm saying? But I have felt like, God, how can I be useful in this time? Because it doesn't always feel like it's the time to shout, this is who we are, or what, or to shout like, what, do you know why we're in this situation? It's not, because right now it's just a time of mourning. It feels like, you get what I'm saying? But it's like, when we get through mourning, I want to be useful, because I feel like it would change our entire perspective if we understood truly who we are. Exactly. And when we say the term, we are kings and we are queens and stuff like that, you gotta operate like one too. Yeah, but it is so much truth behind. It's more truth behind that than that a lot of us understand. You get what I'm saying? So because we come from a lineage of kings, queens, and priests. We are the people that the Bible. Our history is right in the Bible, that we claim to be a book that can, we say that that was just written by such and such, or this is so much, it's so many things, it's not in the Bible. It's so many. If you pay attention, and if you're really taught by people who understand the teachings of the Bible, you'll know and we'll see ourselves in that book. We were the only people brought here not by choice.
Exactly.
We were the only people. Yes, yes, people have experienced turmoil amongst their people. What I'm saying is that we were the only ones that didn't migrate here for better opportunity.
Yeah.
We were
Exactly.
the only ones brought specifically the way that the Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, brought it out, which you'll be brought by slave ships. Your daughters and your sons will be sold, and there'll be nothing that you can do with it. You're gonna build on land that you'll never own. You get what I'm saying? These things have been prophesied already, and because we're not really taught biblical things in church,
Hmm.
where do we get it?
And as you're talking about the information, and I was just talking about that with Portia, um, it's imperative for us to pass on the information, especially
Yes.
those of us who have children. The
Yeah.
information age now, that's the only thing that we really need is to survive is the information, whatever that information is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Considering the times, considering the world and where it's going, if you know better and how to survive, you will pass that on genetically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because think about it, people used to die from the flu, used to die from the cold. But once we got that information, we got vaccines, da da da. You know, the knowledge and the wisdom to create these things. Now we become better people, and it's the same with information.
Yeah.
We can become better people by having different perceptions,
Yes.
by questioning your situation, by
Yes.
questioning where you are,
Yeah.
by understanding what's happening
What's
around you, with the
happening.
cards you have in your hand.
The cards.
You know what I'm saying? But here's another thing, though. 80% of the world are naturally sheep.
Mm.
Think about that. Naturally sheep, people are just going to follow, right?
Mm.
But then you got another, let's say 10% who are the creatives and people that are doing their own thing, like 10 to 15%. And then you have the rest of them who are just sitting and watching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, I'd like to think that they are the ones that's running things, running the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a conversation with my brother. This is kind of related. Thinking about, okay, he's done a tour, right? And a couple tours. And I was asking him, like, what did that do to you? You know what I mean? How did it help you? What did it teach you? And he was saying it taught me the value of life. You know what I mean? Being okay with dying. You know what I'm saying? Now, because of that such adverse situation, everything else in your life seems easy. It's not as nuanced. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me, like, some people think that things are so much harder than what they are. You have no clue what's hard. What's harder than going to war right now? You know what I'm saying? And then here's the thing, though, as well. Like, as black people, because we're keen to so much adversity and just negativity, we know what to do when things like this, when Corona comes around. Like, we're not shook. Okay, it's a new thing.
Right.
But, like, what's worse than dying? Like, we've been faced with that so many times.
For so long.
It's in our blood to know what to do, to be primal, to have
survive.
exactly, the self-preservation, that mechanism in our brains is strong. You know what I'm saying? We know what to do, but, like, and you were talking about, what can you do? You know what I'm saying, to I guess combat, or you know what I mean, what's going on with your platform? Yeah, to do whatever. But for me, it was dedicating my time. Volunteering. You know what I mean? Those little things make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know, maybe not in a large scale, but I know when I got home, I was exhausted, but I was exhausted in a good way.
Yeah.
Knowing that I helped countless amount of people, get groceries, or, cleaning supplies, or, you know what I'm saying? And it made me feel better about the situation. So what I'm saying is if you're under the sound of my voice, and if you will one day hear this podcast, if you're sitting around not doing anything, you're just as much a part of the problem as the people that are committing these crimes. There's no way that anyone who looks like us should be just at home shut in. Like, if you're at home shut in, at least find something to do to help somebody, or do something, because this is not the time just to be stagnant and just to be quiet. We need to keep the foot on the gas and keep moving and keep this progression, this movement forward, because they're trying to rock us back to sleep. Straight up, they trying to rock us back to sleep, trying to bring the NBA back, right? Huge distraction. You know what I'm saying? And I hope all the players, I hope most of them, however many of them that is willing to do it, I hope they sit down. I hope they sit down. I hope they do not play. And I hope that goes for the NBA. I hope it goes for everyone, because this is not the time to be throwing the ball around. This is not the time to be scoring points and looking for a championship. It's not the time. This is a time for essential things. Essential things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sports right now is not essential. This is one thing that Corona has taught me, is like to be prepared, get more prepared, and really take stock of what's really essential in your life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, and I try to be, even in light of what you were just saying about this time being a time for everybody of our nationality to be speaking out and to be active doing something. And I try to be like, while I understand that partially, I try to be careful with the approach taken with that statement, only because you really don't know how people are processing what's happening right now. And while it may be the duty of some to be on the front line, to be out there protesting and out there with their faces in the forefront, it may be somebody else's duty to
your video posting.
Yeah, it may be somebody else's duty to give groceries to the people who are homeless and who are out here in the midst of all of this stuff that's taking. Yeah, it's a job for everybody, but it's like we have to give room for people to process things the way that they need to process things. Facts. You get what I'm saying? Because while some of us are up and ready and out and ready to go, other people are literally trying to hold together their peace. Other people are literally trying to find their sanity again, to find what is norm. What is the norm again? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're trying to find a norm in a place that is no longer normal as we knew it. And I don't know if norm as we knew it is going to be back again. So it's like right now you have those people who may be trying to process what's happening, and maybe that means that they in the bed today. You understand what I'm saying? I promise you, because I've had my days where it's like I don't want to look at social media. I don't want to be the voice today. I want to get as far away from these thoughts, from this stuff that's happening. I want to be as far away from it today as I can be. And if that means turning off my phone, if that means, not being the one with my fist in the air today, like that's just what it has to be. We have to know how to be where we can be. Do what you can when you can, and when you have it in you to do it. And if you don't at this time, it has to be okay. We have to be okay with when people are not where we are, or when people are not already at the same time to to make the same moves and stuff like that. So I just think I get your point. Yeah. But I've heard a lot of people get on and like literally rebuke other people who are not standing on the front line, or who are not posting enough about the Black Lives Matter movement, who are not giving the information and stuff like that. It's like do what you do out of love and out of the kindness of your heart, but don't do it and follow it up with a rebuke for people who are not doing it, because you don't know where people are in their personal lives or where they are in their minds due to all of the things that are taking place. So it's like, do what you do and be the light. Be the light that you are called to be in that time, because maybe it's your job to do that. So I just try to be careful the way I speak because it's like that's a thin line right there. It's a thin line between, kind of like we're fighting for Black lives, and then we're kind of tearing each other down at the same time because you're a Black life. You should really be out here, like, you know what I'm saying, fighting against the grain. You get what I'm saying? You should really be out here with your sleeves rolled up. It's like, I'm just really trying to live today. Like, I'm just really trying to keep a peace of mind in some facet, So, yeah, I just try to be mindful myself of those, of that approach, because though I can go and give to the homeless and do all of this stuff, don't mean the next man is even ready to do that, or even have the means to.
Consideration and compassion.
Absolutely. Keep the compassion for one another as we fight with one another. Your fight may look different than my fight. I may be making calls. I may be, you get what I'm saying, texting those hotlines that everybody putting out. I may be doing those things
Right.
that it takes to get the next step taken. You get what I'm saying? You do not know, and if I'm not doing any of that, if I'm not doing anything, but staying at the crib and trying to stay out of trouble,
That's still
huh?
something. You're
It
right.
is something that's done because I am a
One
black
less
life.
life
I
that is
am a
lost.
black life,
Right.
and I matter.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
But no,
yeah.
there's we said a lot. Powerful, powerful. I didn't expect you to come with this much fire, man. I know you were passionate, and I was ready to match that passion. But I'm like, hey, this is time for me to sit down and let you run. You know what I'm saying? But no, I appreciate it. Here's one thing we do here at the Art Live Life podcast is art being an acronym for a reason to, and a reason to live life. So if you will give the people your reason to live life, what is that?
Man, my reason.
Or reasons?
Ooh,
Go ahead.
man.
Do your thing.
Okay, I gotta answer that in like one sentence.
Hey, we here. What's
Because
up?
one thing that I realize is that to everything there's a time and a season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that even stands for every life. I feel like there's a reason why I was born in this time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I was born as an artist
Right.
during a season where it's not like it used to be. The things that were once necessary are not even necessary in this season that I've chosen to be here and be an artist, right? I feel like to everything there's a time and a season. And my reason too, I feel like it's still being figured out. I just know that God is all knowing.
Mm-hmm.
He is all seeing.
Mm-hmm.
He is everywhere at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no thing that he does by mistake or without purpose. So my mother met my father when they did. And it popped off the way it did, however it did, so that I can be here today.
Right.
Doing what it is that I'm doing in this time and in this season that the world is in.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to not drop the ball in being who I am when I'm supposed to and being where I'm supposed to be. I'm trying not to drop the ball at being who I am unapologetically. So my reason, I'm still figuring out like what you doing with me? You know what I'm saying? Like what am I, what is life really gonna bring? I dream the things that I dream, and I believe that none of those dreams happen for no reason at all. It's coming. Whatever it is that we have the unction to dream up, we can have it. I don't think that there's anything that I cannot be, do, or obtain. I'm still figuring it all out though. So, I feel like God is I try to keep him in the forefront because I know that he got some things under his belt that I'll never have, not right now in this time while I'm in this being.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So right now, I don't know, man. I have a child that I've been blessed to bring into this world and share this experience with. She's a reason for me. She's a reason why I can't fail at doing what I'm here to do.
Hey.
You get what I'm saying? She's a reason for me. Nyla Saray. She's a reason for me. Anybody that I've been that anybody that's destined to cross paths with me, I feel like is a reason why I'm in existence. And right now I haven't figured all of that out, but I feel like purpose, always feeling like you have a purpose is it gives you a reason to keep on going. It's reason enough to keep on moving, to keep going, and to keep thriving where you are. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just hoping I do the job well.
No, you already are. Like you can only be better and greater from here and this point on. Like, and even in your EP, I felt that I'm like, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. But no, in closing, I wanted to give you a book recommendation just from listening and hearing you. I'm not sure if you read it, The Alchemist.
Okay, I haven't.
Please read that book.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist. It's a wonderful adventure book about obtaining your goals and the journey and not knowing what's going to happen and fighting against adversity.
Yeah.
And then again, obtaining those things that which you've been dreaming about. And that's what the book is about: is kids having a dream, a reoccurring dream, and that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
So like definitely,
I'm gonna definitely.
I'm gonna send you a picture of
Okay.
it. But if you can listen to the audiobook is so much better than just reading it. It's incredible. But no, thank you so much. And tell the people. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what your Instagram is. But no, go ahead and tell everybody where you can be found online.
That everybody can follow me at Saraya Official on all websites. The Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all Saraya Official. That's my name without the apostrophe. SARAYAH Official. And they can be on the lookout for my website that's gonna drop as soon as well, and some other exciting things that are underway.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we got some merch and some everything, a lot of exciting things that's happening. That's underway right now. So yeah, follow me, and let's get it.
Hey, and there you have it, Saraya Official. And she is
Yeah.
official, officially passionate. And you can find me and this podcast when it airs on CLA_pro.tv and CLAPRO on YouTube. And you can visit more and see more episodes, season 1 and season 2, on the artlivelifepodcast.com. Saraya, it's been one.
Yes.
Thank you for the passion. Thank you for the fire. I feel like I can go
Yeah.
run 10 miles right now.
Yes.
Straight up.
Thank you for
I
having
feel
me.
it.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And everyone to watching on live everywhere. Thank you for tuning in. And stay tuned for this episode when it drops. I'll say about another week or so.
Yeah.
But yes, nonetheless, man, thank you. I appreciate
Yes,
you.
absolutely. Thank
All
you
right.
for having me again.
Peace, light, and love.
Peace.
Stay safe.